Welcome to Kung Fu Happy Number 2. My name is James Williams Jr. and I just got this across my thing. And before I post it on Facebook, I want to read it because it sounds slightly racist. I got it from www.nbcnews.com, and I'm kind of don't know how to really take this. So it says Chinese restaurant opened by a white woman shuts down 8 months after controversy. Established has been married by, accusations of racism and cultural impropriety from Asian American community. Okay, this is gonna be a good one. I'm multicultural, so I am Cherokee Indian, I am black, and I am white. And I think I should chime in on this just the simple fact that accusations of racism. Pedestrians walk past the Lucky Lee's restaurant in Greenwich Village neighborhood of New York, April 11, 2019. The controversial New York Lucky Lee closed its doors Friday. The establishment was opened in April by nutritionist, I think this is Ariel. Let me try to spell that for y'all. Both of her names are first and last. Arielle. Her last name is Haspel. A white woman had been married by I don't know what that says, has been married by accusations of racism and cultural improprieties from the Asian American communities. It initially describes its cuisine as a clean Chinese food, comparing it to meals to icky dishes in traditional Chinese American joints. In a statement on the website, the restaurant did not provide a rationale for the closure, but wrote that it was heavily hearted that they are shutting down our woks and everything tonight, our woks and ovens tonight. We have truly been feeding the international, excuse me, totally screwed that up. We have truly loved feeding and entertaining you and your families, the statement reads. We were very proud of our food and the space we created, but lots of needs to come together to make the restaurant work in New York City. And we wish it could have succeeded as well as we hoped. Okay. Haspel, Haskell, Haspel, drew backlash after social media users pointed out how language used in the restaurant post, I don't know what that word is, but it has something to do with racist, dirty Chinese restaurant stereotypes. Okay, most Chinese restaurants I've been to have been fairly clean, so I don't understand that. We're clean by my standards. Everybody has their own standard. Nothing's gonna be 1,000% clean. I clean for a living, so I know that no matter what you do, if you don't have a bleach bomb, most everything's gonna have some germs or some dirt in there. Okay, we heard you are obsessed with lo mein, but rarely eat it. You say it makes you feel bloated and icky. The next day, well, we wait until you slurp up your high lo mein, not too oily or salty. One of the restaurant's earlier social media posts, which has been since deleted, the restaurant also touted, I don't know what that means, it's MSG less dishes as among healthier aspects of the cuisine. Uh-oh. Something just happened on my phone here. I can't read the rest. Where did it go? Some damn Ford advertisement. That's why I hate technology. I had to go back and find it. Where was it? Okay. Touted with MSG dishes and another healthier aspect of the cuisine. However, there is little evidence that it actually links the food activities and negative to healthy effects. Rather, racism and bias are largely to blame for the bad rap. Alright, still going. What's more, many pointed out the restaurant's name compared to a mirror that it is stereotypically a Chinese joint. The restaurant later pointed out that the moniker drew inspiration from Hafso's husband Lee. I didn't say her name right again, so let me spell it out for you. Haspels, and then her husband Lee. All right, so Lee might not be a white man. The controversy prompted many in the Asian American community to voice their frustrations on the restaurant's social media account, the Yelp page. The backlash that led Yelp to temporarily disable the establishment listings, and Mrs. H herself eventually addressed the concerns and interviewed the New York Times. We were never trying to do something against the Chinese community. We thought we were complimenting the incense and the importance of the cuisine in a way that would rather cater to people that had certain dietary requirements. She told the outlet, "Shame on us for not being smarter about the cultural sensitivities." Lucky Lee's did not return NBC's news request for comment. Okay, so let me give you some thoughts on that. Alright? Being that I am part Cherokee Indian, and being that Native Americans are biologically Asian, I don't think that I would really be upset if an old Western restaurant came up with all kinds of Native American meals, as long as they were legit, like they went literally to a restaurant base, but before they opened the restaurant, they literally went to reservations, got menus, spoke with some Native Americans about how it's supposed to be made correctly, and I'm not talking like fucking corn or maize, depending on what you want to call it, because there are a lot of Native American dishes that no one in America has ever tasted unless you live on the reservation. And, I've never had really a real Native American dish because even though my grandmother and my great grandmother were both Native Americans, they just cooked black people food. Fried chicken. So, with the couple of exceptions of the corn and the pancake thing, which I have made videos about, the way I see it, because we have a Japanese restaurant here, I think it's the Japanese Express. They have white guys who deliver Japanese food, and they speak Japanese. Now, when I first seen that, I haven't eaten there yet, by the way. When I first seen it, which is where I was going, when I first seen it, it kind of blew me away because these Japanese dudes were white, and they were speaking complete, full-on Japanese. The restaurant was called in people would speak it in English, and they would translate it into Japanese, and the Japanese men that were speaking Japanese back when you come around the corner, there were no Japanese men there. There were Japanese women there, but there were no Japanese men. All the Japanese men that I thought were men were actually white men, and they were speaking complete fluent Japanese. And then they get in their cars, and they go out and deliver to the whole place. And it's the same thing like with Chinese restaurants. When the Chinese guy comes to the door and you pay him, it's the same shit. Now, again, I have not eaten at the Japanese restaurant, but I have eaten at most of the Chinese restaurants here in Charlottesville, and everybody has a different take on General Tso's chicken, okay? And there isn't too many restaurants that don't have General Tso's chicken, so it's a touch and go thing. Now, as I was saying before, I'm part Cherokee, so if they came up with Cherokee dishes and they were real, authentic Cherokee dishes, just not cooked by people who are of Cherokee descent, I don't seem to think that I would have a problem with that, as long as they went to a reservation, got the name of the meal correctly, were taught how to cook the meal on the reservation, and learned a lot of things. Because all right, let's go for example, Emeril Lagasse, who had his TV show, Bam, that guy. He went around the world and learned how to cook these different cuisines. So I don't understand why there's a problem with this white lady opening up a Chinese restaurant, calling it Lucky Lee's, especially if her husband's last name is Lee and he might be an Asian. So that's kind of a catch-22. And I think that if you really take race out of it, and they actually serve fairly decent, authentic Chinese meals, even though they were talking about the healthier version and taking out the MSGs and all the other stuff that comes with it. I have no idea what the hell MSG is. So whatever it is, if they're taking all that stuff out and they're making it more healthy, so it's like a dietary Chinese restaurant, then I don't see what the problem was and why they were shut down. Now, on a racist standpoint, and I have to do this because this is kind of racist. On a racist standpoint, for people who go around saying, non-Asians shouldn't be allowed to have an Asian restaurant, that's just like saying, um, the KFC's seven spices and whatever restaurants or whatever came from black people, and black people love fried chicken, So we're gonna 11 herbs and spices the shit out of their ass because here's how evolution works. During slavery time, the reason why soul food exists is because that's all slaves got to eat. They didn't get to eat the great cooked food, even though they were the ones cooking it. They had to eat the scraps. So, if you have to eat the scraps, you have to make do with what you have. So, what is the problem with having a dietary type Chinese food? And let me tell you something. If you really want me to get real and serious, when I worked at the university here in Virginia, and we did catering, they did Chinese cuisine. There was not a Chinese person making it. The Korean young lady and the Vietnamese young man that I almost got to fighting with, they didn't make the food either. It was a black dude. It was a black chef who made the Chinese meal for the catering. So does that make it wrong that a black man knows how to cook an Asian meal and they catered it in a buffet? They didn't go to like a Chinese restaurant and pay them thousands of dollars to make the food. They literally made it themselves. They got the ingredients. I think they might have got them from that damn store. I don't remember the name of the store, but it's right there on Ivy. God damn it. I can't think of the name of the store. But anyway, it's right there on Ivy. It's right before you get to the Pizza Hut shopping center that used to be Pizza Hut. It's a travel agency or something now. But the whole point of the matter is that if you can cook, you should be able to open up whatever kind of restaurant you want, regardless of race and regardless of culture. But back to what I said, if someone came out and it was like a white person who decided, hey, I'm going to open up a Native American cuisine restaurant. I'm only going to serve food that Native Americans ate back in the day, plus current day, so that you can have the colored maize, where the corn is not yellow, it's like brownish or whatever. I don't like it. But anyway, I'll eat it if I have to, but I don't like it. But it's the same thing. If you wanted to have certain rices that Native Americans ate, if you want to have corn, if you want to have certain other meals that like is health board certified, because a lot of Native Americans didn't eat things that normal humans ate. They ate what they had, and then it's the same thing with the further out west you go. Let's say that the person doesn't want to just do Cherokee cuisine. Maybe they want to do Cheyenne or Seminole or Apache or Crete, or even further out, maybe they want to do Lakota meals. Now, if this chef has gone to each one of those reservations that I named and learned from those cooks who cooked the food there, I don't have a problem with that. Because he literally went and got tutelage from the people whose food he's trying to cook. Now, maybe this woman husband was Asian and he learned to cook Asian dishes, and maybe he's the one running the restaurant and it's just under her name or it's under his name, so that the thing, and she might be the face of the restaurant, and just because she's white does not mean that in this case she's not white. She can be white and right for this because it's just a fucking restaurant. Now, they said they got a lot of backlash from the Asian American community. Okay, I'm about to play devil's advocate on this, alright, because I think that when it comes to race and backlash about certain things, we gotta take a knee, alright? We have to take a knee. If I go into Chinatown and I open up a Kung Fu studio or a Wing Chun studio, but I don't know Wing Chun, then I should probably not open up a Wing Chun studio. But if I know Kung Fu, which is kind of slightly based on Wing Chun, or vice versa, because Wing Chun's Kung Fu is not the same as Kung Fu, then I'm going to be halfway right. Now, let's just like if I go into Chinatown and offer Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I suck at. So that would be like a fraud for me to go into Chinatown and start teaching BJJ. I suck at BJJ. So why the hell would I go to Chinatown and try to teach a martial art that I'm not good at? But let's say I go in there and I teach praying mantis or crane or snake or dragon animal styles. Now, I know a little bit of those animal styles, but I don't know the full range of it. So it's kind of still touch and go. But if I just open up a school and say I teach Kung Fu, I'm good because I do know Kung Fu. Now, do I know every aspect of Kung Fu from Wushu to Wing Chun to all the animal styles? Hell no. But I know enough that I can teach you enough to use that you can survive it. And what you choose to do with it afterwards is a whole nother ballgame. You know? Now, as far as food is concerned, everybody like to eat. And I don't know too many people who really don't like Asian cuisine, regardless if it's Chinese, Japanese, Thai, Filipino, or Korean. I never had Filipino food until like a year or two ago when we had our last Omega Con here before someone like did an inside job and robbed their shit. But I have had Filipino food. It was fucking awesome. I've had Korean food. I've had Thai food. I've had Chinese food. The Japanese restaurant is the only one I haven't had. But don't get it twisted. I have had Japanese food made by a white woman back in like the 7th or the 8th grade, where it was 7th grade. Might have been the 6th grade. 6th or 7th grade when Miss Doss was doing our cultural month when we had all these cultural foods that we made from Russia to Japan to China, etc. She was a cook. She knew how to cook the shit. So I don't know if she went to Japanese people and they taught her how to cook the octopus and the squid and all that crap, but I remember eating it. Alright? And then you can buy sushi wraps at a grocery store. Now, go figure. And the store, by the way, is named Foods of All Nations. So just to get that out there. The thing is, I'm going to have to make a second video because this video is like almost 18 minutes long. So I'm going to do a part 2 to this.